Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and get you straight to the insights you really need. Today, we're diving into something pretty unique, actually. It's kind of custom-tailored to give you a shortcut to being, well, really informed about a fascinating upcoming event. We've got an exclusive look at this high-profile gathering. It sits right at that, exciting intersection of pro sports, cutting-edge tech, and some serious business.
Yeah, and what's really interesting here is the event itself, the 2026 Business of Sports and Tech Conference.
Yeah.
This isn't just another meet and greet. It feels like a real convergence point, almost like a snapshot showing us exactly where these really dynamic industries are heading, especially since it's happening during Super Bowl week. That's a time with just unparalleled access and focus, right? So we're going to pull out the key stuff, the core insights, straight from the conference details for you.
Okay, so the big question then is, why? Why is this particular event becoming like such a cornerstone for professional athletes, for investors, for innovators? That's what we want to tackle today. We'll unpack its purpose, its structure, which is quite interesting, and introduce you to the key players involved, the mission, basically to arm you with the essential knowledge about this whole ecosystem. Okay, let's get into it. All right, let's start with the basics. So this is the 2026 Business of Sports and Tech Conference. And it's not new, right? This is the 6th time they're doing it, the 6th annual iteration. And the timing and location seem really deliberate. It's happening in San Francisco and, crucially, during Super Bowl week.
It's exact. To be precise, it's Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. Runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And you mentioned Super Bowl week. Well, why then? It's not just about, general buzz. The thinking is, and there's data that suggests this, that deals brokered during these high concentration periods, like Super Bowl week, they tend to have a significantly higher success rate. You've got the decision makers there, they're focused. It creates this really unique, high-value environment. Hard to replicate,
And that kind of concentration, that high value, it makes you ask, who exactly is this for? Because it sounds pretty exclusive. The details mention professional athletes, investors, CEOs, founders, innovators. There's even this special networking part within the conference, right? Specifically for startups to meet accredited investors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those folks who meet the financial criteria for like higher risk, early stage stuff. And they emphasize limited capacity. Got to register early for that bit.
Absolutely. And that curated audience, it's totally key to the conference's main goal, fostering really valuable connections and unlocking real investment opportunities. It's not just about being in the room. It's about actually leveraging that unique setting for, high-level networking and learning directly from people who've been incredibly successful in business, all in these quite exclusive surroundings. It's where the real action happens, potentially.
Okay, so structure-wise, they've broken it down into 3 main segments. These seem to be the pillars of the discussion. First, building your nonprofit. Second, growing your business. And third, capital raise presentations.
Yeah, and what's insightful there is how these 3 areas, they're distinct, but also deeply connected. They really seem to cover the different stages of an athlete's career after the sport, or alongside it. Like building your nonprofit, that's not just charity anymore, is it? It's often strategic. It's about brand building, legacy, sometimes even, alternative revenue streams after their playing days are over.
Right.
Then growing your business that taps into the entrepreneurial side, scaling up maybe passion projects, and the capital raise presentations, well, that's the direct route to getting funding for those bigger ideas. So it weaves together the philanthropic, the entrepreneurial, the investment angles, all in that sports and tech world.
And that holistic approach, you really see it reflected in the speaker lineup. It's quite impressive. You've got Michelle Walker-Davis focusing on grants and funding opportunities. Reverend Dr. Joseph Bryant Jr. from ProSpeak, that's about empowering athletes with public speaking. Right?
Important skill.
Then Roy Kessel, Sports Philanthropy Network, leveraging sports for social good. Steve Glazer, SGC Foundation, working on athlete wellness, community stuff. Also, J. Everett Pearsall from NOA. That's the National Alliance of Athletic Alumni.
Oh, yeah, they do a lot with post-career transitions.
Exactly, and they're linked with the Watkins Award. And then crucial folks like Trey Smith, a certified NFL agent from Powerhouse Sports Agency, and Larry Steinberg focus on wealth management with financial architects. It's a broad spectrum.
It really is. And that diversity of expertise, it highlights just how complex and potentially expansive the opportunities are for pro athletes these days. It's way beyond just what job do I get after I retire. It's about building a whole multifaceted career, maybe even an empire, which does raise a key question, I think. With all that different expertise on stage, how do they make sure it translates into actual actionable advice for the attendees, not just a bunch of impressive talks.
That's a really good point. And I think maybe the answer lies partly with the host. And here's where it gets really interesting. The event's hosted by Reginald Reggie Grant. Now, his background, he's not just a business strategist. He's also a former NFL player himself.
Ah, okay. That's key.
Yeah, so he brings that incredibly relevant insider perspective for exactly this audience. It kind of proves that whole saying, you can't be what you can't see, doesn't it? Having someone who's actually walked that path, who understands the specific hurdles and chances for athletes, that's invaluable, surely. And of course, an event this size needs backing. There's a whole supporting ecosystem. The main sponsors listed are Easy Pitch Athletes, Tech and Business. Sounds like a platform for athlete entrepreneurs.
Seems like it, yeah.
Also, Imric Consulting, Powerhouse Sports Agency again, Financial Architects, ProSpeak, and the Sports Philanthropy Network. And they do mention, if others want to get involved, more sponsorship opportunities are available. Check eCPitch.com for that info.
If you step back and look at those sponsors, it really paints a picture, doesn't it? It shows all the different types of organizations that are deeply invested in the growth and professional development happening at this intersection of sports, tech, and business. You see the athlete platforms, the agents, the financial advisors, the consultants, the philanthropic groups, all converging.
Yeah.
It just underscores how comprehensive this event aims to be and where the smart money and the key support systems are lining up.
So yeah, to kind of wrap it up, this 2026 Business of Sports and Tech Conference, it really looks like it offers this unique mix. You've got the exclusive networking, the very targeted learning, and this laser focus on really critical business areas for athletes and innovators. And doing it all during Super Bowl week, well, that just ramps up the significance, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Which leaves us with maybe a final thought to chew on. What does an event like this one, bringing together such specific people, such specific expertise at such a specific time, what does it really tell us about how career paths and wealth management are evolving for pro athletes after their playing days? And what does it say about that whole growing intersection of sports, tech, and investment? You have to wonder, how might this kind of model, this concentrated burst of opportunity, influence how other industries think about convergence and development in the future? Something to consider.